Hey y'all, iRig Guy here, and a lot of you have asked me, you're like, hey man, what's the best starter drone? What's the best drone for a beginner? Now fortunately, something has been released that I can confidently say is that drone. Because in the past, I made several recommendations. They were not, those toy drones were not very advanced, and they didn't provide even they provided a somewhat similar experience to the big drones, the more expensive drones, but it wasn't really that good of a tool to where if you picked one of those up, you may say, oh man, I don't like the drone hobby. But if you pick this one up, you're probably gonna feel that you will like the drone hobby, because this drone, and you can check the link within this video's description, is the Tello, or go to my website, irigsky.com, and go to drone store. But this drone is the best drone today for beginners, and today is towards the end of March 2018. So why is this the best drone for beginners? Number one, the price point should be super palatable for most. Drones are expensive. The drone hobby is not cheap at all, but compared to other drones out there, you'll probably find that the price point of this is considerably less. Some of the cool things about the Tello, if you looked at some of the bigger and more popular drones, you know, the DJI Phantom, the DJI Mavic Pro, the DJI Mavic Air, you know, those drones, when you look, and the DJI Spark for that matter, when you look at those, you can probably tell that the DNA, DJI's DNA, flows into this Tello drone. Even though it's super affordable, super small, and super lightweight, DJI's DNA is definitely visible. So for that reason alone, it makes this a great beginner drone, because if you can fly this, even though this doesn't have the fancy things like GPS that makes the flight super duper stable, it doesn't have the gimbal stabilized camera, it still has a camera, it still has sensors on it, and the controls are very similar to the controls. For example, I was able to pick the Tello up, I was able to install the Tello app on my smartphone. I used the iPhone 7 Plus, and I put these game pads on there. Now those are optional. You can fly just within the app without putting the gamepad on, but you can find the gamepad within this video's description too, along with the Tello. But you know, having had many years of experience flying DJI drones, picking up the Tello, getting it off the ground, knowing how to control it was all super simple. You know, I felt like I've been there and done that because I have. I mean, I didn't have to learn anything new. So from a beginner's perspective, that's important, because if you learn the Tello, if you do decide that you really like the hobby and you do decide that you want to spend more, you know, upgrading to those DJI drones is probably going to, and this is a DJI drone, by the way. It's DJI in conjunction with a company called Rise Technologies. So, you know, to learn with this is good, because you're learning with a tool that then if you do decide to invest more into the hobby, that you should be able to pick those up and have a somewhat already thorough understanding of how to control those bigger drones. One of the things I really like about the Tello also, I should say, is that it has that, I think they call that a micro USB style port. It's the same charging port that my Sony Alpha camera has that I'm filming this with. What's nice about that is that I can plug this into a computer, I can plug it into a USB cable that's plugged into my car's USB charging port, and I can charge this thing off. The battery life in this, though, even between charges, is impressive, and I've got to do some more field tests to where I more thoroughly determine what the realistic battery life expectations are for the Tello. But from what I've seen so far, I would probably say around 15 minutes or so, realistically, which is incredible for something so small and so lightweight. And obviously, I don't know if I showed you this earlier, but the battery is just super simple to remove. You can buy other additional batteries if you want to, but for my purposes, if I'm in a situation where I'm going to be using additional batteries, I will probably be using one of my more high-end drones, like one of my Phantoms or my Mavic Air, or I didn't really like the Mavic Pro, but I would be using one of my Phantoms or the Mavic Air for those scenarios. So for this, just with one battery is perfect for me, because it's super fast and super easy to recharge by way of USB cable. And it's also worth mentioning that since it does use that USB cable to recharge, I'm using third-party USB cables, haven't had a problem with it. So I didn't have to invest in the Tello or DJI branded accessories to be able to recharge my batteries. That's something I wish DJI would include in their higher price point drones. the ability to recharge by way of a standard USB cable. It would make everyone, including myself, a lot happier. But yeah, this is a great beginner drone. Obviously, it has the prop guards. And again, although it may be classified as a toy, it still should be treated like something that's very dangerous, because these propellers do spin. They can cut fingers, they can cut eyeballs, all kinds of stuff. So, you know, treat it with caution. But if you're looking for the best drone for beginners today, at the time of posting this video, March of 2018, it's without a doubt the Tello. So again, check the link within this video's description. You can find where to order the Tello drone, all of the accessories, this game pad that I'm using to fly the Tello, and a whole lot more. If I was going to pick up one accessory for the Tello, it would probably be the game pad, just because it gives it more of a tactile video game-like feel. And that's important for me. It may not be important for you. But thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/iRickSky, and check out all my other drone videos too. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, iRickSky here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.